What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? We are here live doing the good morning, everybody in the chat. And I got a request for coming back and doing solo streams once again. So here we are, man. I'm doing a solo stream. If you guys caught my show last night with Evan, Uncle John, and Tim, I'd like to hear what you think about that one. It's actually a fun time. It was a long show, like 3 hours. We're not doing that today. We're going to do more like 30 minutes on here for a live Q&A. So before we get to that, I put my sign back up in the background. Supplement King Portage LaPrairie, and we are fueled by them always. They support me and I support them. So who do we got here? Jay Clean, good morning. Arm Sport Videos, good day to you, sir. Stevie Diamonds, up Brian. Dustin, good morning, Dustin. Stevie Diamond, cool to get to listen and talk to, man, as I'm already training, get to sharpen up the mans. Right on. So, for those of you that don't know, in Manitoba, and Dustin knows what I'm talking about, it is a blizzard. So, hopefully, my internet connection stays stable and we're okay. But no power outages yet, but it is snowmageddon happening out there. It is went from nothing to right back into the thick of winter. Fox 8 Ball, how are you doing, sir? Adam, right on. Fox 8 Ball, right on. So, coming off the weekend, I'm rocking my PAL Vendetta shirt. And I should have brought my plaque down here that showed my win over Monster Michael Todd. But there were some guys in the chat that said they were coming in. Adam, yes, you get it. There were some guys coming in said they had some questions for me, so I'm going to wait for those to get posted. In the meantime, we'll continue. We also are supporting Fraser's Next Level. Fraser Benoit, who pulled on the weekend, also has his business going, and he trains people for all kinds of things, including arm wrestling. So if you're interested and you're in the Red Deer, Black Falls area, check him out for sure. 5, who makes the best tables. But they are heavy, man. They are heavy. You don't even need a base on those things. They're so heavy. They don't move. So what do you guys got? I will sip my coffee and wait. And hopefully we do not lose connection here. The weekend was interesting. How did the monster feel? He felt about like I expected. I knew that there were no surprises. There were none. As far as I knew he was going to try to get in his lane for his shoulder press. I knew I had to keep him out of that. And the strategy, it's always nice when you come up with a strategy and it works perfectly. So the match number 1, I was going to blast through the shoulder press with side pressure. That's what I did. So it seemed like I had the perfect counter move to everything Michael was trying to do. And then the final 2 matches, I simply held and tried to absorb whatever hit he could generate without hitting back. So in match number 6, I got pinned with a shoulder press, but it's okay. Yeah, had I taken a whole bunch of those right off the bat, it would have been an ugly day for me. Dustin, I have seen some footage from the tournament in Winnipeg over the weekend. Billy, who is in the chat, hello Billy, showed me a bit of that while we were in the States. I also saw a couple of big upsets. Looks like guys like Vince Squires and Ben did extremely well. But one match in particular, I'm going to find it here because I got tagged in it. Donna had posted it. And she posted, no, it's in the Manitoba Arm Wrestling Association page, so we'll check that out. While I was away, Jose Morneau was pulling in matches, and I hear she got upset a little bit in one of those matches. There it is right there. Now, that was Jennifer Hughes. Jennifer has been arm wrestling for a while, but she has all the tools to be an amazing arm wrestler. And now she's starting to be, because she beat Jose Morneau 3 times. Jose is a multiple world champion. And congrats to her. Like that's an amazing performance and a real interesting thing. But Dustin, who are you talking about specifically? All right, so we'll get back to this. Stevie, I don't know if Michael's a one-trick pony. I just had, for his other moves, I had an answer for all of them. Adam, what are you weighing these days? 377 is what I weighed in at the day before I left. And they, of course, didn't weigh me for the tournament, because what's the point? Corey, I assume, is going to be over 400 pounds. Arm Sport videos, with all the talk, or bitching / whining, of the rules, how did you feel about the rule set? I am different, man. I love the PAL rules. I know from a spectator's perspective, it's not the best thing in the world, but I really like arm wrestling under that rule set, because you can focus on the things that you have to do without having to worry about a lot of the bullshit that comes with the other ones. The WAL rules, man, it's kind of a free-for-all on those ones, but I like PAL. I know it's not the most spectator-friendly rule set, but it's I really enjoy pulling under that rule set. Billy Berg, a blessed weekend with great people. Billy, you had a hell of a weekend, man. You had a hell of a weekend. Fox 8 Ball. Monster is... Sorry, guys. I'm going through all your comments here so I can answer some questions. Just all the results and matches in general, Dustin says... It was nice to see people after 2 years and see people actually are at. Stevie Diamond, Yo Ryan, getting ready to go to the Congo. Yeah, and gorilla hunting. You know it, buddy. Warren Kernot, how you doing, buddy? Warren, we're obviously not practicing tonight. The roads are all closed. It's probably not going to happen. So just so you know, Warren, no practice tonight. It'll be 2 weeks from now. We had talked about it last time. I was going to practice with you guys despite being pretty sore. And it's just not something we're going to do today because of the weather. Adam, I like strict rules too. People get away with too much. Well, it definitely prevents that. It looked like Mike tried the same move with left too much, but yeah, there was nothing he could do against you. He did try to, Phil, how you doing? He did try to kind of open top roll King's move, pronate out, and that's when he opened his hand when he came right out, and he stopped holding on, and that's why he got called for the intentional slip. It's because his hand was wide open. And the one where they reversed the call, they could actually see that his bottom 2 fingers were closed, so that it wasn't technically an intentional slip. And then we went back, went to the strap, and it was the same outcome. Thanks, Billy. You going to EVW May 21st? What is EVW? May 21st, I'll be in Dallas, Texas, pulling against Corey West. Gorilla Arms, so what's the game plan against Monster Michael Todd's toddler? I have to come up with one. I haven't watched any recent footage of Gorilla. I used to watch all of his stuff, but I can't remember exactly what he does. Monster says he's excited to see the match because he thinks that Corey and I have basically the same skill set as far as the different moves we can do. So it should be a really fun match. I'm looking forward to it. Corey's a great guy, even though, he's not going to be my friend until after the match. Ah, shit, that's not true. East versus West. EVW, right on. East versus West. Yeah, I'd love to go, but I have another commitment. Stacks, what do you think of you against Hermes, left-handed? I think it's an interesting match. I think it's a very interesting match. And I would probably take the match without too much thinking about it. If you want to climb the ladder, you got to start seeking out those guys. Yeah. I mean, Ermey's coming in there, beating Wagner the way he did, although Wagner, I don't know what's going on with Wagner. Something's going on, though. I just don't think he's the same guy he was. He looks like he's almost too big and can't move anymore, which is, I know it's a weird thing to say, but sometimes getting more muscle on you to the point where you're containing your own movement, and it's just not the best. And Wagner trains really open. He doesn't train tight. So he has built a body that is not conducive to the pulling style he had when he was a smaller guy, if that makes sense to you guys. When he gets the shoulder press in, he can still be devastating with it, but he's so far across the table that it's almost taken something away from it. Let me know what you guys think of that. Bruce. Hey, SB. Hey, Bruce. Yeah. Matt Mask versus Tim. I'll comment on that while I wait for some more questions. I thought that was a kind of a cool match. It was nice to be able to be in Matt's corner a little bit for that match. And I thought Matt did a good job. Matt just needed to be a little more in control of his hit because he bounces around a lot. He fires those multiple hits into someone's arm, and his elbow tends to bounce around. And I don't know that we could see those fouls happening, but it would make sense that that's what happened. But Tim definitely found a lane early in the match. And the crazy thing, and I mentioned this last night, when you watch Tim arm wrestle from the, like, you're standing behind him, his frame doesn't move in the initial when he's gaining control of his opponent. He doesn't tilt from side to side, nothing, until he has control and he's ready to go for the pin. It's all power and tightness and discipline. Like it's an interesting thing, and I noticed it. And I thought that's unlike a lot of people that I've seen. All right. Hermes looks like he's ready to pop. Yeah, he looks a little puffy these days, doesn't he? Hopefully Ingen can arrange this match with you and Hermes. I think if I keep winning and I keep beating the guys that are ranked in North America, it's only a matter of time. That says Wagner's bad lifestyle cut up. But I don't know if Wagner has a bad lifestyle. I think his training is just so far away from what he used to in arm wrestling that it's, I don't know. When you say Wagner has a bad lifestyle, maybe you're talking about something that I'm not. But as far as like his activities outside of training or something like that. Machine, good morning, champ. Hey, Jimmy. Matt was unlucky. I don't know if it was unlucky, Stevie. I don't know if it was unlucky. Like when you do the same thing over and over again, it starts to not be about luck. Gorilla Arms, when are you aiming for a rematch against Kurdecha? I am glad you brought that up because I really do. At the end of this, he's the guy. He's the guy that I want to go back to because I want to redo one. A left arm match somewhere where the preparation is perfect, the travel is perfect. I don't have to worry about any of the bullshit. And that's the match for me. And if he beats me, then I'll never ask him for another rematch again. Hermes does look like he's about to burst, to be fair. Yeah. Tim looks strong. He did. And I don't know where, I watched the Paul Italia and Jerry Cataret video, and they said Derek just beat him and he didn't have time to train. That was a couple of months ago, and Tim had lots of time to train. So that weird narrative maybe had an impact on our perception of the match, but he had lots of time in between there to actually get better. And when I saw Tim, I'm like, God damn, he looks good. Like he looked way bigger and way stronger than I thought he did when he pulled Derek. But Tim, of course, Also says he made every mistake he could possibly make in that match. Billy, Tim was a solid monster, and his son did awesome. His son is up and coming, and he's going to be really good. Fox 8 Ball Wagner just breaks gym equipment. I wonder how the owners of the gym feel about that. Stevie Diamond, true that, just want Matt to win. I want Matt to do well as well. Matt's got he's got a tough road ahead of him. Rick Heidebrecht is, I think, next for Matt. And after that, I mean, he's got Prudnick. And Prudnick is not an easy match for anybody. Armwrestling rematch, Fox 8 Ball, perhaps. Perhaps it will be an Armwrestling rematch. Oh, man. Come in a week early, chill in Scotland. We have beaches. You have beaches, Fox, but don't you need a coat to sit on the beach in Scotland? Stacks, yes, I have pulled Sean Latimer left-handed. I pulled him in the World Arm Wrestling League back in the tournament days, and I flash pinned him significant. Well, Sean doesn't really want to match with me right now. We'll put it that way. So it was, I have pulled Sean. I won the match. Slipped, went to the strap, beat him in the strap. Pathetic and lame PAL. Great show in Vegas. Thanks for keeping Beer Man in line. Phil Woody. Cody looking great again. Fox 8 Ball. Not where I live. We have palm trees and gardens here. It's tropical. Okay. Yes, Kevin, that's an interesting match. Matt is also facing Morozov, left-handed. I think Matt can win that match. I don't believe that Morozov is quite the monster that we think he is just yet. But if you needed a better challenge, like, I'm not saying Matt's not a challenge, but this seems like it's a little bit stacked in favor of the East heading in as far as matchmaking goes. You definitely could find matches that are a little more dangerous for the guys from the East. And Kevin, to follow up, would I compete East versus West? Yeah, absolutely. Stevie Diamond versus Derek, and so yeah, Tim didn't look ready. This Tim versus Derek would be different, maybe, but also Derek pulled him pretty perfectly. So I don't know. It would be interesting to watch a rematch of that for sure. Fox 8 Ball, live on the edge of the Gulf Stream. Interesting. Yeah, that would be fun. I've never been to Scotland, and I would definitely go. What else you guys got? Billy says the East is most definitely stacked. In some of those matches, yeah, it seems like they are, but I don't know. Hard to say. Now, we can talk a little bit about, I haven't seen it, but apparently 75 Cell Phones caught after the sparring session between Cody and I. And let's be clear on something. It wasn't a sparring session. So Cody came up to me during the event and said, "Hey, do you mind gripping up with me and just doing a slow power up just to see? I want to see if my left arm is still in pain or not. And I don't have an elite super heavyweight to pull against. So let's just power up. And I want to see if my left arm hurts." So Cody and I go up to the practice table. Well, the second we put our elbows down with the left hand, all the cells come out. And Cody and I power up a little bit, and he puts the strap on. And we slow pull straight back. We do a couple little things, and then Cody pulls me over and pins my arm. There's no motivation to win. It's a practice match. I've had about 18 restarts with Michael. This is not a real match, you guys. So please, everyone needs to calm down on the practice session matches and saying, hey, Ryan's not on Cody's level, because that's bullshit. We are on that level. And in a match, there are so many more intentions, so many more that come into play. And I am helping my friend who is coming off of an injury across a table. Did he feel strong? Goddamn right he felt strong. But also, I'm a big hitter when it comes to arm wrestling. So let's relax a little bit on that. And then we pulled outside the strap, and Bob Brown says, I want you to do one thing. I want you to just pull against his fingers and see if you can open his hand. And I did that. And Bob Brown said, you went through those fingers like butter. That's what we need to work on. So in a sense, I'm actually helping Cody prepare for what he needs to train for us to pull, which, it could be a self-fulfilling, defeating prophecy, but, that's the match that will get me the #1 ranking in North America. And I kind of want that. So now I'm going to pull against Cody at some point. Gorilla first, and provided I get through that, Cody is the guy that I want next. And I want to pull soon, not a year from now at an event somewhere. I just want to get the match and get the match done. And then kind of focus outside of North America a little bit. Boy, go during Highland Games, you'd fit right in. Yeah. Ingen got little love for the West, in my opinion. While in King's move turned him into the dark side. Yeah, you might be right on that one. And Billy Berg says, I was there and heard that conversation. Billy, thank you for backing me up on that. It was truth. So what percent did you give him when you let him hit? I gave him 90% of what I had left, Adam. 90% of what I had left. With a sore arm, LOL. I bet on you versus Cody. Cody and I will pull, and we will work it out. But don't think, because of what anyone saw in that practice table match, that you can make a prediction. Practice table is exactly what it says on the tin. 100%, Fox. 100%. So the weird thing, man, like Cody and I are gripping up, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Because everyone with a cell phone has got it out and starts recording, and everyone stops what they're doing to watch. I'm like, oh my God. If this wasn't my friend, Cody Merritt, that asked me to do this, I would pull my arm off the table and go sit back down. That's what I would have done. What else you guys got? Now, also on Friday, we do our MMA show. And Jeff Frank is going to return. He wants to be a part of that. So I gave him some homework. I made him watch all the fights from the UFC. So we're going to be chatting about that on Friday. All right, here's the deal. GB, do you want a left-handed match with Devin? Let's put this in perspective. I would like at some point to pull Devin Larratt. That doesn't mean I'm going to go out and make a huge, that's the only match for me, because it isn't. Devin is not pulling left-handed. Devin has bigger fish to fry until at least June. At least June. He's got Levon. He's got to focus on a right-handed match with Levon. I don't care to disrupt that and try to get in and steal some kind of, clout from Devin while he's preparing for another match. At some point, I would like to pull against Devin left-handed. I don't want to fight for something I'm not going to get. I have plenty of matches out there with plenty of arm wrestlers that I highly respect. There's 100 guys in the world that I'm more likely to get a match with than Devin. So I'm probably not going to bring Devin up unless I am asked. And I get asked all the time. A whole bunch. I'm not going to bring him up a lot until way later down the road. Okay. Pathetic and lame PAL. Do you know Alex personally? Probably better than most. And when he says Alex, the question will explain what it means. Watch what happened with him in Bresnan. What's your take on that? Okay. So the match, if you go to Alex's page, you go to Alex's YouTube channel, he has a match on the practice table with Tim from the PAL last weekend. So they're just messing around. Alex maybe takes some liberties. Okay. Tim is sore and he's just kind of practicing with him. Alex comes across the table, pushes Tim's elbow off the pad, takes his own elbow and puts it in the middle of the table and pushes straight down on Tim's arm. It hurt Tim when he did this. It was out of line for a practice match. He shouldn't have done it. That's my take on it. Tim seems to handle it well, took the strap off, walked away, and I didn't see what happened next, but it was described to me by several people as Tim came back and looked like he was going to beat the shit out of him. Like he confronted him, told him what's what. I talked to Tim about this last night a little bit on Evan and Uncle John's show, and he confronted him in a very aggressive and physical manner. And if Alex said one other thing that was like confrontational, Tim would have beat the crap out of him, like right there in the middle of that event. And I missed it. I had my back turned for like 10 seconds, which is all it took. And was it necessary for Tim to do that? No. Was it, did he have a reason to be pissed off? Yeah. Did he overreact maybe a little bit? Yeah, I think he did. But you got to be careful, guys. Don't take liberties with people on the practice table. If you're doing it for your YouTube channel or whatever you're doing, I mean, guys won't like that. And some of us react in very different ways. And some of us have very different backgrounds. And Tim takes no shit. So keep that in mind. If you're going to pull him and he is good enough to let you pull into his arm and you guys have talked about it and he says, I'm sore, just take it easy. Don't do shit like coming across the table in a way that's not something that should ever happen on our practice table. And that's my advice. But I mean, I like both guys. And was Alex out of line? Yeah, but so was Tim. So I mean, they both did something wrong. They should wash their hands of it and move forward. Robot Smoke 204, SP versus Wagner. Why not? If you beat Gorilla and Hermes, you kind of earn the right to ask for Devin. Gorilla Arms, possibly. If I beat Gorilla and Hermes, maybe I ask for Kardeccia at that point. Makes TAL sense. Off topic, but ever pull Hutchings? Nope, never even gripped up with Hutchings. Fox, never. Unforgiven, Ryan versus Devin left-handed. I think Devin would duck Ryan. I can't, in any seriousness, call Devin a coward or anything like that. I just can't, because I know he isn't. Yeah. Unforgiven, Devin has been ducking Ryan forever. Don't know if he's been ducking. Plus, because of Chris Gobby, Devin doesn't like Ryan. Well, I think it goes. Sorry about that, guys. I think it goes beyond that. I think it actually is. There might have been something before the whole Gobby thing. Like I got this weird feeling that it was something else, something a little more deep seated, and I don't know what the hell it is, but I don't get it. Phil Woody. I like the positive friendship on show in Vegas. Good set of chaps, healthy competition. Yeah, and I kind of like that. I like that going in there and actually respecting the guy that I'm pulling against. Glad I came out on top, and I think Michael handled it extremely well, losing that match and then us still being able to hang out and have a good time after. Like, yeah, that was. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the experience of PAL in Vegas. Just from a respect perspective, it was a dick move. On which side? Pathetic and lame PAL. From which side? From both sides? I think it was. Yeah, it shouldn't happen, man. You are. I think you're talking about the Alex thing. You're right a little bit. Mastiff is back. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, Fox. That's my dog barking at the snow, or a reflection, or a squirrel 2 miles away. Warren Kernot, practice shouldn't hurt you if everyone does things correctly. My injury was because of bad positioning and a recovering injury. My fault, not my partner. Warren, yes, that's correct. Sometimes injuries happen because of other reasons. Sometimes injuries happen in practice. You should be able to trust the guy that you are across the table from in a practice setting to not do something that might injure you. And Alex, watch the video. He came across the table in a way that could have hurt Tim. And Tim is an elite arm wrestler, and that could have messed him up for an amount of time that completely unnecessary. And if Tim did get hurt, he would have beat the shit out of Alex on the spot. He would have been throwing left hands like there's no tomorrow. GB, how is your arm healing up? My right arm is probably on the shelf for a while. Whew. It's on the shelf. So let's just make the left arm great, and we'll keep doing that. Brandon says, hey, Ryan, big fan, bro. Thanks, buddy. Happy that you smoked Monster Michael Todd. Nicely done, man. Don't think he was expecting your... I don't think he was expecting what he felt in the first couple matches. Stevie Diamond, you are the most humble of all arm wrestlers. Thanks, man. It's weird, though, because some people have a different perspective on that, and they think I'm too goddamn cocky, but, man, I don't... It's weird. Alex seems to do that a lot. Did the same thing to Alan Ford. Interesting. Well, if it's in a match, do whatever the hell you want. Within the rules of the sport, do whatever you want. Do whatever you can to win that match. If it's a real match, the referees will take care of any of the weirdness. We have a super chat. Kevin Tamkai, if I have that right. $6.99. Thank you, buddy. Supporting Canadian arm wrestling. Do you have any worries of losing? Here, I'll do this. Did you have any worries of losing the Monster Michael Todd match? LOL, because everyone had you as a huge favorite. When everyone has you as a huge favorite, it becomes a stressful thing because the other guy really doesn't have anything to lose at that point. If you know what I mean. Like you end up with coming into the match being that favorite. But then you see Michael, and you see Michael do this thing where okay, now all the dogs are going ape shit because someone's at the door. But you see Michael come in and do what he did to Robbie Topi. And whether you want to admit it or not, Robbie is an elite. So Michael comes in, kicks some ass against Topi, and then I was like, holy shit, how good is Michael? How good is Michael? And yeah, all of a sudden the match becomes more interesting because he has this win. He's number 5 now, which is way higher. Fox 8 Ball, I'd still like to have Michael Monster Child versus Levon. Eventually, Fox. Not right now. Eventually. Remy, I don't think he's scared of me. Warren, an injured right gives me time to bring up the left. Absolutely, buddy. That's what I'm doing. GB thought Monster Michael Teller was trying to be funny because he knew he was effed. No. Maybe at some point that happened. Pathetic and lame PAL, not cocky, Ryan. You call a spade a spade. Some people don't like the truth. You represent Canada and the sport as well as anyone. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Stevie Diamond, people get scared. The Mastiff is back. Who is number one left at the moment? Who is number one left at the moment? I think Cody has the stake to that, or the claim, the rightful claim on that, and I need to get through him in North America to say that I'm number one. I think once I beat Cody, I can say with confidence I have the number one left arm in North America. Now, I will say that. And if Devin wants to come and prove me differently at some point, that's up to him. That's up to him. How's your left inside game? It's not bad. It's hard for me to get there. I actually have a limited range of motion on my left wrist from an injury. But I'm not gonna try to hook with the grill if that's what you're asking me. Yeah. Stevie, the weird thing is Devin really hasn't had a meaningful left arm match since he pulled Dennis. And he lost that one. It didn't really show us anything about where Devin's actually at. So, I said this on the weekend, and I think Devin is held so highly because Devin says that's where he is. And if Devin says that's where he is, we have no reason to doubt him. So, finally got my appetite back. 9 hours of sleep, Billy. Yeah. Yeah, Billy, I'm trying to get back on track, my man. It's jet lag and all that stuff. Do you find it strange having a pumpkin train? I don't. I quite enjoy it. And just resting that right arm and focusing on the left has been interesting. And it's going to be what possibilities could come. How good can my left arm get when I'm just focused on it? How good will it be? Pathetic and lame PL. Yes, he did pull Bortolato left. He pulled Bortolato left, but the problem is Bortolato, that was a longer time ago than the Dennis match. And he beat Bortolato quite easily, I'll add. Devin just felt like I don't think Wagner had anything for Devin's left arm. See, the thing with Devin is the Unforgiven. He says Devin doesn't train his left. He wants no part of your lefts, Ryan. His ego couldn't take the loss. I think that Devin's left, there's a weird thing that's happening now where he still pulls. So when Devin, you got to understand something. When Devin says he doesn't train his left, it means you won't see him doing a bunch of stuff in the gym, but he still pulls with it a lot. And Devin's training is almost geared, if I'm interpreting what he is saying correctly, his training outside of the table is all geared towards recovery for the next practice or the next table session. So he's not going to be pushing huge weights. He's not going to failure. He's having talk that like and I get it. And that's kind of what I'm doing now is everything I do inside of the practice is getting me ready for the next practice. So you're not going to see me trying to strict curl 300 pounds because it's non-conducive to the final goal that I'm going towards. See, Corey sends me videos of training and he's got lots of goals about bench. I probably still have a 500-pound bench, but you're probably not going to see me work with any more than 3 when I'm in the gym. And I'm not going to failure. I'm doing other things and I'm getting ready for the next practice session. Warren Kernow. Ryan has the ability to be the best left-hander in North America for a long time, and if the left treated like the right, we would be talking about Ryan and Levon. Yeah, I think you're right. Brandon, who do you have in the Angrabayev and Barbosa match? Not a match everyone is talking about. Feel Angrabayev destroyed. You know what? We should be talking about that match because it's probably the most interesting match on that whole card as far as really putting an East versus West guy. Marcio is a legend, and Angrabayev is an up-and-coming guy. Or I don't even know if you can call him that anymore, but he's really, really good. And they're roughly the same size. It's going to be an amazing match and probably my favorite match of the whole card. Gorilla Arm says, how the F did Michael Todd beat Topi, seeing how you totally smoked him? Man, I don't know. Is Cody's dodgy arm still healing from that loose screw issue? Yes, but I think it's getting better. Is Corey better left-handed than Monster Michael Todd? The rumor has it, yes. And you're not 25 anymore, hence different training ways. You know it, buddy. As we get older, we got to adapt. Cutting out a little, that must be me. Corey West going for a 600-pound bench, that's crazy impressive for an arm wrestler. Yeah, that is crazy. But it's also, weird because 600-pound bench isn't going to, I mean, all strength is good strength. I'll say that. All strength is good strength. However, a 600-pound bench doesn't necessarily translate to the table. Now, if you guys haven't hit like on this video, I appreciate it if you would. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'll appreciate that even more. It is free to subscribe. You can sign up for a membership, but subscriptions are free. Please do that if you haven't already. Put a like on there, and let's do last call for questions, and then I got to get on with trying to sell some houses. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. And this new software I'm using for streaming is amazing, so I can schedule these broadcasts and give everyone a little bit of a heads up when I'm doing it. But I think Wednesday is going to be a regular day for this Q&A kind of video. I had a couple of requests that they said they like the solo streams. They like the stuff with me and Jody, and they like the other things I do, but they also wanted a solo stream to kind of get my take on things. So that's what we're doing. I like it. I love tuning in here and chatting with you guys. So Jody and I will be back on Monday. We're going to, what do I know of Rivas? Phil says, I don't know much about him other than he's pulling Michael. So Friday, the MMA show. Monday, Jody and I are on as usual. And I believe Jeff's going to jump in on the MMA show, but we're going to probably record that one because we want to kind of steer away from the arm wrestling content for that show only. And yeah, we'll keep doing this one. We'll do this one every Wednesday as well. And I'm going to pre-schedule the Jody one so you guys will be able to see it. Fox, see you Monday. See you Monday, Fox. I look forward to it. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Keep training. We'll see you guys soon.